Hello, everyone. I am Professor Alafia Samuels from the University of the West Indies, and we are very pleased to be collaborating with the Jamaica Council of Churches on this Bible Studies series on nutrition and health. Today's session 3, we're going to talk about satisfying hunger. During this session, we'll talk about the importance of nutritious foods for healthy living. We'll talk about what is a healthy dietary pattern and how to calculate the number of calories in a food package. Eating nutritious food is very important. The benefits of healthy eating for children are many. It keeps their skin, teeth, and eyes healthy. It supports their muscles, makes them have a healthy weight with strong bones, helps to develop their brains, supports healthy growth, and boosts their immune system and helps in their digestive system. And for adults, the benefits are that you may live longer. Same thing with the children, the skin, the teeth, the eyes, the muscles, your immune system, strengthens your bones, lowers your risk of disease. And in adult women, healthy pregnancies and breastfeeding, and also it helps to maintain a healthy weight. Why is it that we are saying that we should eat this whole variety of foods? Can't we just eat chicken and rice and move on? No, because the variety of foods helps children and adults get the right amount of important nutrients. It helps them to avoid a diet high in sugar, fat, and salt, because that diet could lead to overweight, obesity, and non-communicable diseases. It's important to eat a variety of foods. It helps young children's development and helps older people have a healthier and more active life. We want to talk about what kinds of dietary and eating patterns are best. There are 4 main healthy eating patterns linked through research to lowering risk for heart disease. The DASH diet, the Mediterranean diet, the Daniel diet, and a vegan lifestyle and diet. So let's go through them one at a time and see what this involves. So the DASH diet DASH stands for Dietary Approach to Stop Hypertension. And it's a healthy eating plan that was designed to help treat or prevent high blood pressure. It includes foods that are rich in potassium, calcium, and magnesium. And these nutrients help to control blood pressure. And a lot of these nutrients are the micronutrients we talked about last time, which we get from natural food, but we do not get that from processed foods. The DASH diet also limited foods that were high in sodium, saturated fats, and added sugar. This is an example of the DASH eating plan. So you would have your grains, your meats and poultry, and your vegetables, and of course fruits, dairy, and fats and oils, which are necessary in small quantities, and importantly, nuts, seeds, dry beans, and peas, which we really need to eat more of these things. The benefits is that it lowers your blood pressure in as little as 2 weeks. So those of us who are living with high blood pressure should really seriously consider this diet. It also lowers your low-density lipoproteins, the LDL or bad cholesterol, in the blood. And it helps the blood pressure, and we know that blood pressure and high LDL are 2 major risk factors for heart disease and stroke. So the second diet we'll talk about is the Mediterranean diet. It is based on the traditional cuisines of Greece, Italy, and other Mediterranean countries. It is a plant-based diet, and it is packed with whole grains, vegetables, legumes, fruits, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices are the foundation of the diet. Olive oil is the main oil that is used. And fish, seafood, dairy, and poultry are included in moderation. Red meat and sweets are eaten only occasionally. So this is how it is made up: 20% of your protein, 10% olive oil, 35%, a whole 1/3, is the whole grains, pasta, beans, whole grain bread, and another 30% or 1/3 is vegetables and fruits. The benefits are that it promotes heart health, it reduces high blood pressure, reduces the risk of high cholesterol, supports healthy blood sugar in people who are living with type 2 diabetes. It protects brain function and may prolong life and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. The Daniel diet is interesting. It's a partial fast based on a story from the biblical book of Daniel. It's a strict vegan diet that prohibits animal products, leavened breads, processed foods, caffeine, sugar, and alcohol for 10 to 21 days. And some people follow the diet as an act of spiritual devotion. It is not intended as a weight loss diet. The foods included in the Daniel diet include vegetables, fruits, plant-based fats. As we were talking about healthy plant-based fats earlier, we mentioned like ackee and avocado, pear, and nuts. So this diet also includes that, plus whole grains, beans and legumes, so our peas and beans and nuts and seeds, herbs and spices, and water and herbal tea. Finally, we'll talk about the vegan diet. This diet contains only plants, such as vegetables, grains, nuts, and fruits, and food made from plants. It strictly prohibits foods that come from animals, including dairy and eggs. It's becoming increasingly popular, and it is endorsed by denominations such as the Seventh-day Adventist. The advantages is that this diet, again, like the others, reduces the risk for heart disease and cancer. It improves the blood glucose in patients living with diabetes and has the potential for weight loss. However, there are some disadvantages of a strict vegan diet. It's possible that you don't get enough protein, and there's a risk for not getting enough B12, calcium, and iron because these are usually based in animal products. Similarly with certain omega fatty acids and creatinine. And it is a difficult diet to stick with, but many people do it successfully, and it definitely has health benefits. So one size does not fit all. There are many different types of diets. There's no perfect eating pattern, and the best diet is the one that you can stick to. So try and make small changes that you can stick to those small changes. So we're trying to go to a diet that is high in whole grains. So if you're buying, for example, whole wheat bread, look for the sign that says 100% whole wheat. We need to eat a lot of vegetables, fruits, legumes, and nuts. Lower intake of red and processed meats and sugar-sweetened beverages. But we must be flexible also. We have to realize that individuals have different needs and desires at different times, and you can always give yourself a treat, but it should be a treat once a week, not a regular thing every day, because every day eating unhealthy food is bad for your health. So we have the general guidelines here, which we talked about before. And we talked about the food-based dietary guidelines for Jamaica, what a healthy plate should look like. Half your plate should be fruits and vegetables. And there are ways we can start to make small changes. To eat healthy, we can reduce the intake of sugary foods and drinks. And here we have some examples of things you can substitute for. So you can try fresh fruit juice instead of soda. You can have fresh fruits instead of sweets. You can have crackers and plain cereal and nuts and seeds and beans instead of cakes and pastries. And for dessert, you can try unsweetened jello or low-fat ice cream. We need to reduce our intake of fats and oils, so we should be drinking low-fat milk. We should be trimming the fat, all visible fat, off of our meats. We should eat less tin foods. That includes sausage and corned beef. And we should bake, steam, and grill our foods or roast them rather than frying them. And to reduce our intake of salty and processed foods, in seasoning, instead of using the salt and the soy sauce and the ketchup and all that, we can try vinegar, fresh herbs and spices. We can use dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, please. We don't want to have the salt. So please either wash off the salt or buy unsalted nuts and seeds. Instead of canned vegetables, we can do fresh. Don't forget to read the food labels. We talked about that last time. And we talked about also how we can calculate how much calories are in a particular food. Now, on average, we should be eating about 2,000 calories a day on average. And so you need to be keeping a track of how much calories you're eating, as well as how much sugar, fat, and salt, and so on. Most people don't do that really, though, to be honest. They eat until they feel satisfied. And so it's very important that what you eat is good food and foods that are gifts from God, directly from the earth. If we have a nutrition facts label that says our serving per container is 3 and the amount of calories per serving is 355, then we have to multiply the 3 by the 355 to get the total number of calories in that package. So, sometimes you'll buy a package and you eat all of it. And to calculate how much you just ate, you have to figure out how many servings were there and how many calories per serving, because that's how they presented the information on the package. So we need to be very conscious of what we're doing and also to respect what it is that we are putting into our body, because as we said, our body is God's temple. Thank you very much.